respective temples. Yeah. So yesterday we could not have the session because of the same thing, because we had the celebrations for Nityanand Tirthodashi. So today we will be continuing our discussion from the Bhagavad Gita. So before we start, we can do a short revision in summary, whatever we discussed last time in the last session. So maybe some devotees can share. So try to share it in sequence how we discussed. Whatever points you felt relevant or you liked, you can share those things. Yeah.
Firstly, Prabhuji, we discussed how the methodology of studying Shastra. Then you discussed how the Padachhed is there, then all those things. Uh,
5
um,
aspects of studying any Shastra. Yeah,
yes,
somebody
yes.
can, or you can tell what are the 5 aspects we saw
Uh,
for the studying the Shastra. What are the 5 aspects?
so, 1 second, Prabhuji.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
You can refer your notes.
so, Prabhuji, first one was the breaking down of the original text, which is called Padachhed. Then
Yeah.
explaining meaning of each and every term, uh, Padarthokti.
Padartha Ukti.
Uh,
Pada Artha Ukti. Yeah.
then explaining the grammatical breakdowns,
Yeah. What is that
vig,
called?
Vigraha.
Vigraha. Correct. That is third. Okay.
Then Vakya Yojana, how the meaning is formed by the sentence, connection between various terms, etc. And then the resolution of doubts was the last what it called some uh, Ashley. So, when I likha hai, lekin it is
Yeah.
maybe
Last
something
one.
wrong. Hare Krishna. Roji, I think we lost your audio again.
Yeah. Akshepasya Samadhanam.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Correct. Okay. So anybody else would like to share further after that what we discussed? I think mainly we discussed about then Guru Sadhu Shastra. Yeah. Somebody can share about that.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
We have also seen like Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, they are very important and they should be parallel. They should go together.
Hmm. Yes.
And
Yes. So can you tell the example what Prabhupada gave for this parallel thing?
mm,
What is
Proj-
example Srila Prabhupada gave?
Just like train goes on two parallel lines, similarly, if our uh, car of bhakti goes on the three parallel lines of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, then we will reach the ultimate goal.
Yeah, then our progress will be very solid, like that Prabhupada told. Yeah, then our progress will be very solid. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Mataji, continue.
and we have also seen like saintly person accept the scriptures. So we cannot deny it. So we have
Yes,
to
yes,
accept
yes.
it as it is
Yeah,
like. Then
very important point that was that how do we know that this is a bona fide Shastra? It's not that anything which is written in Sanskrit or which is old manuscript is to be accepted like that. So how do we accept it? Because previous personalities, previous sadhus, like Prabhupada gave few examples. Can somebody name few examples? Who are the previous sadhus that Prabhupada gave the name, who have accepted the scripture? That's why we also accept.
Ramanujacharya, Nimbarkacharya.
Yes. Okay. And somebody from our sampradaya?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Correct.
Madhvacharya.
Yes. Narottam Das. Yes. Very good. Okay. Yeah. Anything else, Mataji, you want to share? Gayatri Mataji?
Yeah, we have also seen who is Guru, the spiritual
Who is
master.
Guru?
Yeah, the
Yes.
spiritual master who follows and explains the scriptures. The sadhu confirms the scripture. Then we have seen the Ved Praman and Shruti Praman also.
Okay. Somebody would like to explain about the definition of sadhu, what Prabhupada spoke.
Sadhu means, yeah, sorry, Prabhu.
Yes. Who is speaking?
Yes, Prabhuji. If a person does
Yes,
not,
Mataji.
if a person does not speak according to the scripture, he should not be accepted as sadhu.
Okay. And what about the Guru? Prabhupada speaking. What is definition of Guru? Somebody can speak that. Similar line actually. Yeah.
He should speak according to the
So Guru is not
scripture.
one to be identified based on what is his color of the skin, which country he belongs from, how much disciple he has. But what criteria he gave, Prabhupada, that he is following the previous acharyas and he speaks based on Shastra. Okay, these two important points, what Prabhupada said. Okay. Anything else? Anybody want to share what we discussed last time? In the last part of the discussion?
Guruji, we saw different commentaries by different acharyas and how to reconcile, uh, how to understand the mood of acharya. And
Yeah.
then lastly, we see the Dashamula Tattva given by
Ah,
Bhaktivedanta Thakurji.
yeah.
So that 10 points we discussed.
Yeah. So, how do we understand? Okay, what is the relevance of those 10 points which Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying? And why did we bring out that discussion? Those 10 points, why it is important? Under what topic we discussed those 10 points?
Those different acharyas give commentary according to the time, place, and need of the situation. But these 10 points are the basis of our philosophy, which are unchanged. Any acharyas we take, these 10 points will be not compromised.
Yeah.
So, Prabhuji, is it why do we say Bhagavad Gita as it is? That was the point, right?
Correct. Yes, that was the point. Yeah. So explain, Mataji, what is that as it is? What is as it is in all acharyas commentaries?
So, the actual words of Lord Krishna, that's what we should listen to it, because Bhagavad Gita has been told, we have seen to different people, and in between somewhere it has started misinterpretation, and that's why what we should listen to are gurus, bona fide gurus, as per Srila Prabhupada. That's what I've read till now, Prabhupada.
Yeah, what we discussed in this part was that these 10 points are the main points which will be not varying among the different commentaries of Acharya. They will be more or less intact.
Yes.
And then we saw any Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharya commentary that will have 5 more additional items. So anybody remember those? What are those 5 additional items? Those who have not spoken till now, they can speak. What are those 5 additional items which Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharya also add? We saw one shloka for that. Yeah, very important for devotees to put their focus during the class as well as before coming to class. You can do revision. Otherwise, we will keep on reading next and next verses, shlokas. But whatever is there behind, you will keep forgetting. Then it will not be much helpful. Okay, then we will start today's
Prabhuji, I
discussion.
think that was not the last part,
Uh-huh.
the shloka. I think because of some connection issue, that part was not covered. I mean, I could be wrong, but only
Okay, last part
on,
there was some problem. Yeah,
yes.
so we discussed that shloka, Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajastanes Tadadham
Yes, yes, yes,
Vrindavanam.
yes, yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, 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 yeah. That thing covered. Yes, Prabhuji. Sorry. Yeah.
That that basically mentions about the 5 aspects which our acharyas focus apart from these 10. So these 10 aspects are very basic, like Krishna is Swam Bhagavan, like these things. And these extra 5 items are Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajes Tanyas Tadham Vrindavanam Ramya Kachid Upasana Vrajvadu Vargena Ya Kalpita Shrimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamlam Prema Pumartho Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamitam Tatra Adarat Na Paraha. So he speaks these 5 aspects. That Aradhyo Bhagwan, who is our worshipable Lord, that is Vrajesha Taniya. Vrajesh is Sri Nanda, Nanda Maharaj, and his son, that is Nanda Nandan Krishna. Like that. So that is our most worshipable object. Okay. So Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesha Taniya Tadadham Vrindavanam, and which is the highest abode which we worship and we wish to go is Vrindavan. Okay, where Krishna resides. And what kind of upasana or worship we have to do? Ramya Kachid Upasana Vrajvadu, as the gopis did. Vrajvadu Vargena Yakalpita. And what is the praman for all these things? That Krishna is Bhagwan, Vrindavan is highest, as well as the upasana should be according to Vraja gopis. Is praman is the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amlam. It's the Amal Puran. It's the most unambiguous reference for us. Okay. Prema Pumartho Mahan. And what is the highest object that we are aspiring is Prema. Okay, not liberation, not Salukya, not Sarupya, not any kind of Mukti. Okay, not Ekatvam. But we are aspiring only for Prema. Prema Pumartho. That is the highest achievement of every living entity. Pumartho. Hmm. And whose opinion is this? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Madamidam. This is the opinion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tatra Adarat na Paraha. There is nothing of reverence more than this. Adara means reverence or respect. Na Paraha. Nothing is higher to this. Like that we have discussed last time. So any acharyas who will write commentary. So take home point was that among the acharyas there may be sometimes differences on certain points. Like we saw that 2-3 verses. If you remember, we saw the discussion on Om. Basically, Ishopnishad invocation. Om Purnamada Purnamidam. We saw that verse if you remember. So there we have actually discussed that how each word can be given a different meaning by the different acharyas. Okay, and what will be intact is those 10 essential points. Okay, what are those 10 essential points we have discussed last time? And then we saw another thing that each verse can actually have different meanings. So for that I quoted one verse from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit. Krishna Tulya Bhagavata Vibhu Sharvashraya Prati Shloke Prati Akshare Nana Artha Kaha. So every shloka, every akshara can be actually of different meaning, different revelations can be there to different acharyas that we have discussed, right? So each acharya, as per their revelation, that he writes the commentary. Okay, and then we have also seen that there can be possible differences among acharyas on some very detailed points. Okay, but these basic 10 aspects plus 5 aspects which we mentioned will be same throughout. Okay, so every acharya commentary is as it is, and we will be discussing mostly of Srila Prabhupada's, and then few times whenever it is required of other acharyas where there will be elaborate commentaries and where there will be very important shlokas. Okay. Okay, so now today we will be starting with the 13th chapter. Okay, so this is nature, enjoyer, and consciousness. Okay. So this is also titled as Prakriti Purusha Vibhaga Yoga. So this first title is given by Srila Prabhupada, nature, enjoyer, and consciousness. Okay. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada has given this title. Okay. Nature is the Prakriti. Okay, that is Prakriti. And enjoyer is the Purusha. Okay. That is here. And then Vishwanath Chakra Thakur and Baldev Vidyabhushan, they will give like Vibhaga Yoga, means divisions. Okay, now 13th onwards, there will be description of what is the descriptions going to start in 13th chapter onwards, what we have discussed previously. We discussed 1 to 6 is Karma Yoga, mostly Karma Yoga discussions, if you remember, right? Okay, I will tell again. 1 to 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita are mostly the divisions of Karma Yoga. Okay, and slight discussions also on Jnana as well as Ashtanga Yoga. Okay. Okay. Majorly is this. Okay. Majorly Karma Yoga. But some places like chapter 3 and 5, there is also touch upon Jnana Yoga. And chapter 6, there is touch upon Ashtanga Yoga. Okay. These are the topics which are also just slightly touched upon. Okay. Also in second chapter, there is slight touch upon Jnana Yoga where there is Sita Dhira Muni described. Okay. That is also part of Jnana Yoga. But 13th chapter onwards, it's out and out Jnana Yoga, fully describing Jnana aspect. Okay. Not the practice in detail, but mostly which is related to the knowledge of these aspects like Prakriti, Purusha, and the consciousness. Okay. Here also we will be learning about Jnana. Okay. Knowledge about these two, Prakriti and Purusha. Okay, that we will be learning. So Prabhupada has called it as consciousness. Okay, so Jnana Yoga will be studying from 13th to 17th. Okay, which will be describing what? The Sambandha Jnana. Okay, what do we mean by Sambandha Jnana? That is basically the knowledge about the Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Prakriti, Purusha, and the object of knowledge. Okay, so these all aspects will be covered in the Sambandha Jnana. For whom it is relevant? Okay, it is relevant surely for those who are Jnana Yogis. It is basically their basic knowledge which they have to have. Okay, so they need to have knowledge as well as they need to meditate. Okay, the Jnana Yogis need to know it as well as they need to meditate on it. To attain what? Attain Brahman, the liberation, oneness with Brahma. Okay, this Sambandha Jnana is actually need to be meditated upon by the Jnana Yogis. But how about devotees? The Bhakti Yogi, do they need to know about these aspects? That is Prakriti, Purusha, and Kshetra, Kshetrajna. Do they need to know? Would somebody like to guess? Do Bhakti Yogis like all of us also need to know this?
Yes, Prabhuji, I think we need to know.
Yeah, we need to know. Yes. Why do we need to know? Because is Sambandha Gyan part of our Bhakti or not?
Yes, Prabhuji, it is part of it.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. So we have three aspects basically broadly dividing the Bhakti in three aspects. We have Sambandha Gyan first, then there is Abhideya Gyan, and there is Prayojana Gyan. Sambandha Gyan is what? What is our relationship with Krishna? Okay. What is our relationship with the material nature? What is Krishna's relationship with the material nature? Okay. These three aspects we have to learn. That is Sambandha Gyan. Then Abhidya Gyan is what? Okay, after understanding all this, what is that we need to do now? Okay, I am servant of Krishna, what should I do? So Abhidya Gyan is that what is the activity we have to do? That is Bhakti Yoga. We are doing Shravanam, Kirtanam, correct? Navavidha Bhakti. Okay, and then while we are doing this Sambandh Gyan we are having as well as Abhidya Gyan, so all our activities need to be done for a purpose. Like very simple example I will give. Like for somebody who is studying maybe in say 10th standard maybe. So he has a goal in mind. Okay. Nowadays people have from the very beginning, maybe from 6th standard, that they have to go to IIT or whatever. So they have what we say that some coaching which starts 6th standard itself. Okay, some name they have for that. Yeah. So basically 10th standard somebody is there, suppose. Then he has to already make up the mind, okay, I'm going to choose 11th and 12th standard, I'm going to choose science. And then at the end of 12th standard, I have to give the JEE mains, JEE advanced, whatever, these exams I have to give so that I can qualify and get entrance into a good engineering college. And then and if he is very well thoughtful, then he may have also chosen his branch that, okay, I want to get into that branch. Correct. Similarly, in Bhakti Yoga also, we need to have knowledge. Who are we? Okay, we are servant. Then the question comes, whose servant we are? Then, okay, Krishna's servant we are. Okay, which Krishna we are serving? Is it okay? First, we have to understand the difference between Vishnu and Krishna. Then we have to understand which Krishna. Is it Dwarka Krishna, or is it Mathura Krishna, or is it Vrindavan Krishna we are serving? Okay, that is we have suppose thought about. Then we have to think about, okay, if we are serving Vrindavan Krishna, then in which how we are serving? Are we going to serve as a Dasya Bhav, or we are going to serve as a Sakhya Bhav, or Vatsalya Bhav, or Madhuri Bhav? Okay, like that. So these all advanced categories are there. So as advanced or as thoughtful is the student in the previous standards, that much detailed he can make a plan. Okay, in consultation with the teacher, obviously he has to take guidance from the teacher, right? Similarly, we have to take guidance from our gurus. Okay, we have to take guidance from our Siksha Gurus, Diksha Gurus to understand, okay, what all things we can have as a goal. And then one practices. Nobody can say, oh, I am studying somewhere in 10th standard, but I have no idea after 10th standard what I will do, whether I will take uh, go continue or not also 11th and 12th standard. That can be one idea. Then there can be idea that, oh, whether I am going to take up science or commerce or arts, whatever options are there. Some thought has to be had, and some choices, some inclination one has to have, and then he has to discuss with the teacher that what would be best for me, like that. Okay, so these all aspects are there. That is all part of the prayojana. So I described the things. Sambandh Gyan, that is our relationship with Krishna and nature, and also understanding what is nature's relationship with Krishna. Okay, Krishna is a Purusha and nature is a Prakriti, like that. And then we discussed about Abhidaya, that is Navavidha Bhakti, because we are having qualification for Bhakti Yoga, so we will be performing Bhakti Yoga. Okay, and what is the aspects of Bhakti Yoga? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, correct, Archanam, Vandanam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. Okay, these 9 aspects are there. Okay, so these all 9 aspects have to be done as per one's inclination also. And then lastly is Abhidya. So the question which I asked earlier is Bhakti Yogi, whether he needs this Sambandh Gyan? Yes, he needs. Now the second question comes, okay, he has knowledge about it, but do the Bhakti Yogis need to meditate on this knowledge? I will take questions after I complete certain part. Okay. Yeah. So Bhakti Yogi, if he has knowledge about it, but does he need to meditate on this? What is your opinion? What do you think? Does he need to meditate on these aspects?
I think Prabhuji, it depends on his stage. In beginning, it can be helpful.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah. Do the Bhakti Yogis need to meditate on this? What is the meditation a Bhakti Yogi need to have? Do they need to meditate on these things like soul, Prakriti, and these aspects which are going to come? Yes, Suralita Gopi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So meditating upon the services, so the 9 process of devotional service. contemplating the garden.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. So actually, the meditation of Bhakti Yogi is on Krishna as well as the Navavidha Bhakti aspects. Okay, and as well as a specific form of Krishna, maybe like I said, Aradhyo Bhagwan, Vrajesha Tanya. Okay, which Krishna, which is who is Aradhya for us? Is that Krishna who is Nandanandan Krishna, Yashodanandan Krishna, Shyam Sundar Krishna. That is our meditation. Correct. And then there is all other five aspects, all these five aspects basically. Uh, Aradhya Bhagavan Vajesthanyas Tadham Vrindavanam, and meditation is Vrindavan Dham. What are the different aspects of Vrindavan Dham like that, and what kind of worship is performed for Krishna by Vraj Gopis like that. Okay, so these aspects as we described earlier. So these are the part of their meditation. But do they need to have understanding about these aspects which is going to be described? Yes, understanding is needed, knowledge is needed. Okay, so for Bhakti Yogi, the knowledge aspect should be there, understanding should be there. Okay, the understanding also should be there. What need not be there is meditation on this. Okay, the meditation part is not needed for Bhakti Yogis. Okay, so basically in Jnana there are three aspects of Jnana. Okay, so one is the Tat Padartha, Tvam Padartha, and there is Aikyam. Aikya Jnana means that both are one. Tat is Brahman. Tvam is the Jiva. Aikya is oneness. Okay, so these are the three aspects of Jnana basically. Any Jnani, they need to have these three knowledge as well as they meditate on these three knowledge. That is on Brahman and Jiva, and then oneness, that how Jiva is equal to Brahman. That is their meditation. Okay, qualitatively they also meditate. And Bhakti Yogi, they need to know about these aspects, but their meditation is not this. And also Bhakti Yogi, one thing is that oneness also they don't have to basically meditate upon. Okay, but Brahma and Jiva, that knowledge aspect should be there. Okay, so this is what is going to come in chapter 13 to 17 and little bit 18th also. Okay, 18th, because summarizing, Krishna is summarizing at the end and he is telling Arjuna that I have spoken it in detail. Did you understand it or not? Okay, did you follow it? Should I explain it again? Did you hear it attentively? All these things he is saying at the end, and he is summarizing Sarva Dharman Parityajya, all that. Okay, so in the beginning small part is also there for the Bhakti Yoga, sorry, Jnana Yoga, and then later part is summary. Okay, that is at the end. So this is how the chapter division is there, 13 to 17 and 18th. Okay, and first 1 to 6 I told, and 7 to 12 you have just read in the last unit. So there I have not described, but in short 7 to 12, as we saw in the summary also, generally describes about Bhakti Yoga. Okay, specifically chapter 7 and 8 is the Mishra Bhakti. Okay, Mishra Bhakti. Okay, so 8 was Karma Mishra Bhakti, and sorry, 7 was Karma Mishra Bhakti, 8 was Gyan Mishra Bhakti, that were described. Okay, and then after that we had chapter 9, which was the core of all the chapters. That was Bhakti Yoga directly, right? It's in the middle of the whole Bhagavad Gita actually. And then chapter 10 was Vibhuti Yoga. Correct, if you remember, all the Vibhutis of Krishna were described there. And 11th was mostly about Vishwarup Darshan. And 12th again was summarizing the whole Bhakti Yoga process. Okay, that was the divisions of 7 to 12. Okay, and 1 to 6 also we discussed. 13 to 17 we are going to see now. Okay, so any discussion points, any question, whatever we discussed till now in the introduction to this chapter or this section 13 to 17?
Prabhuji, I
Somebody had
just
raised that.
one
Yeah, yes,
question.
yes.
Yes.
Yes, bro.
So you said that Prabhuji in the Prayojan part. So the goal, we can have the goal like whether we want to serve in Sakya Dasya Vatsalya Madhurya. So is it our choice to serve in a particular mood, or we are eternally made to serve in a particular mood only.
Yeah, actually, as Prabhupada says, na, that we have to, the very definition of devotional service, Prabhupada says we will study in NOD. So he will say, like, just like a child, he learns to start walking. So basically, he says it is a cultivation. Okay, it's a cultivation. One has to cultivate.
Mm.
Okay, so I will show one shloka just to clarify this point. Okay, and Prabhupada has spoken many places in his lecture. Okay, that how one has to think about it. Okay, so specifically, I will show one sloka from Brahma Samhita. Okay,
Mm.
so this you can see, and more elaborately, we'll discuss in Nectar of Devotion.
Mm.
Hmm. Okay, I'm sharing my screen too. Yeah, is it visible? This shloka?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, so he says here, Yam Kam Akrodas Sahaja Pranayadi Bhiti Vatsalya Moh Guru Gauravasevya Bhaveh Sanchintya Tasya Sadrishim Tanuma Purete Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Please read the translation.
I adore I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, the meditators of whom, by meditating upon him under the sway of wrath, amorous passion, natural friendly love, fear, parental affection, delusion, reverence, and willing service, attain to bodily forms befitting the nature of their contemplation.
Yeah, so this last part I just wanted to focus and wanted you to understand this part. Okay, attain
Mm.
to bodily forms according to or befitting to what?
Nature, the
Not
contemplation,
nature. Nature of their
contemplation, their
contemplation. What is the meaning
contemplation.
of contemplation?
Whatever they are meditating upon.
Yeah, yeah. So what all prescribed meditations are there? It's there in the shloka only. It's not that one can meditate anything. That I am in the spiritual world, I am president there in the spiritual world, and anything which whatever comes to his mind, he can meditate. It's not like that. What meditations are there? That is also mentioned in the shloka. So what are those? So if you see Sanskrit terms, it will be more meaningful. Vatsalya. What do you mean by Vatsalya? Is a parental mood. Correct. Pranaya. Pranaya means what? See, what is the word to word translation? Sahaja pranaya. Okay. Natural,
Mm.
friendly love. Okay. Friendship. Okay.
Mm.
Guru Gaurava. That is Dasya Bhav. Sevya Bhav. Hai. In all these attitudes of service. Okay. And another meaning of
Mm.
pranaya also is actually Madhuri Bhav. Okay. Pranaya is about Madhuri Bhav also. Okay. So these are
Mm.
the prescribed meditations based on which the forms befitting to the meditation will be attained. By whom? By the meditator.
Mm.
Okay. So this is what I would like to say in the answer. Is it okay, bro? Is it satisfying your question?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So now we'll continue. Any other questions? Any devotees have any questions based on what we discussed till now?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, can you share that sloga number, please?
Yes, yes, surely. That is Brahma Samhita. There is only one chapter. That's fifth chapter. 55. Shloka number 55. Okay. Yes. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Then we will start with the chapter. So first section is Arjuna's 6 questions which will be asked, and he asked in the very first shloka actually. So there is a controversy, basically not a controversy we should say, but on a lighter note we can say it's a controversy in the sense that in Bhagavad Gita how many shlokas are there? I'm sure everybody knows, but anyone can answer maybe. How many shlokas we have in the Bhagavad Gita?
700.
Yeah, 700 shlokas we have, right? Okay, so because this chapter is coming and this shloka itself is the part of controversy, I'm just saying. So the basically Bhagavad Gita versions which are available in ISKCON, we have also 700 shlokas, as well as the other version which may be available to other places like Gita Press and the commentaries of Ramanujacharya and Madhvacharya, I believe. They both also have 700 shlokas, everybody has. But it's not the same 700 shlokas. And this is not to confuse you, but I'm saying so that you know about it, so that you don't get confused later when somebody challenges you. Arey, your Bhagavad Gita is having some extra shloka which is not there in original Bhagavad Gita. They will say like that. So basically the part of the controversy is this shloka number 13.1, which is our first shloka of discussion actually. This shloka is there in our Bhagavad Gita, but this shloka is not there in the Bhagavad Gita of Gita Press and other some books which are considered authentic also outside. That shloka itself is not there. So then the question comes, then how come they have 700 shlokas if they don't have one shloka which we have? Correct, that is natural question. So basically the answer to that is that there is a shloka which is extra in the first chapter in their copy. Okay, I don't remember now, 1.47 or some 46, one of them is actually the part of their Bhagavad Gita which is extra, which is not there in which one? Which is there extra in them, which should not be there in our Bhagavad Gita, right? Correct. So if you see the first chapter of our Bhagavad Gita, how many shlokas does it have? Does anybody remember? If not, if you have a copy of Bhagavad Gita. So I
46.
recommend all of you keeping a copy of Bhagavad Gita with you. Although I'm
But-
sharing my screen, but it would be good if you have a copy of Bhagavad Gita. So you can keep it in front of you for having easy access, because sometimes it will be difficult to see the hard copy. Yeah, somebody is saying something. Please say.
46 verses, Prabhuji.
46
Okay.
shlokas. Very good. Yes. And how many shlokas the Gita Press should have then if they have one extra?
47, then extra if it is.
Extra is there and 47. That's right. Yeah. So they have 47 shlokas. Okay. And we have 46 shlokas. And total again sums up both of them is how much?
700.
700, right? We have one extra in 13.1. They have one extra in one first chapter. Which one exactly? I don't remember now. Okay, I can see and tell later. Yeah. So now the question comes, a more important question would be, then why is this difference, bro? Okay, there should be same thing na everywhere. So question comes whether this shloka 13.1 was spoken by Krishna or not. So for your context, 13.1 shloka is what? It's the, no, sorry, it's not spoken by Krishna, obviously. It's spoken by Arjuna. The question is asked. So how many of you have observed one thing, that in almost all the previous chapters, Arjuna starts the chapter by asking a question? How many of you have noticed that? That a chapter starts by Arjuna asking a question. Can somebody, or you can raise your hand maybe, or whatever in your video itself. Yeah. Some are raising half hand. Yes, Mata, Gayatri Mata, you want to say? Have you observed it?
Chapter number 5.
No. Most of the chapters I'm saying is Krishna is not started speaking directly. He was asked few questions by Arjuna. Have you noticed that?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I'm not asking specific chapter, but just a kind of notice. Yeah, it is there. So we can go and see every particular chapter also, and there are references that Arjuna asks some question and then Krishna starts speaking. But now 13th chapter, first shloka, is spoken by Arjuna as a question. He asks 6 topics. He asks what are the these 6 terms, what are they? Prakriti, Purusha, first 2, Kshetra, Kshetragya, 4, Jnana, 5, and the knowledge about all this. Sorry, fifth is Gayam, we can say. In sequence, it is sixth, but I would say fifth here, Gayam. That is this object of knowledge. And the sixth aspect, that is the knowledge about all these things, Jnana. So, what are the 6? Kshetra, Kshetragya, Prakriti, Purusha, Gayam, and Jnana. Okay, Gayam is object of knowledge. Object of knowledge is soul as well as super soul. Okay, now knowing about ourselves, self-realization, and then knowing about God, that is God realization. Okay, both are there. So both are the objects of knowledge, and in Sanskrit it's called Gayam. Okay, so and the knowledge about all these 5 is called Jnana. So these are the 6 questions of Arjuna in the first shloka of this 13th chapter. Now, if this very first shloka is not there, then what happens in the other Gita Press books is that the chapter starts with Krishna speaking about these 6 aspects, which is also not very logical. I would not say it is wrong. It's not very logical that Krishna himself started speaking some aspects. Okay, and he was not asked. Okay, so it's more logical and common sense, I would say, that Arjuna asked these 6 things and then Krishna started speaking. Okay, so let us go back to the slide now. Yeah, so I told that here 13.1 is not there in Gita Press, but they have one extra shloka in the first chapter, okay, which is greater than our, that is 46. Okay, now does anyone know how many how many shlokas were spoken by Krishna in this 700? Among the 700, who spoke maximum? You can just unmute and speak. Yeah, who spoke maximum?
Krishna spoke maximum.
How many?
Number of slokas, I don't remember. Some 546.
Yeah, more
I
than
don't
500. Yes,
exactly.
very good. So in this, among all the 700, Krishna actually spoke 575. Okay, 575 shlokas were spoken by Krishna actually. Then next, who spoke maximum? Who is the second one?
Arjuna.
Arjuna.
Yeah, Arjun. Right. Arjun spoke. How many he spoke? He spoke 83. Okay, he spoke 83. And then next, who spoke?
Sanjay.
Sanjay.
Yes, correct. So Sanjay, he spoke how many?
40 or 42, Prabhuji. I don't remember
41.
exactly.
Yeah, 41. Yeah,
41.
in between
Mm.
average of your answers. Yeah, 40 and 41, 42. Yeah, average. Okay, and then who spoke? How many are remaining now?
One.
Just one is
Everyone.
remaining now. Dhritarashtra is one, the first one.
Dhrita Rashtra. He spoke only one. So total comes 700. So this is the division of the number of shlokas spoken by each personality in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, and as we discussed already, Bhagavad Gita is part of Mahabharata, Bhishma Parva. Okay, we discussed all that chapter 25 onwards. Okay, so now the question comes that okay, if the Krishna spoke only 575 shlokas, then Bhagavad Gita should be only what Krishna spoke, right? What about others who are speaking, Arjuna, Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra? Why are they called part of Bhagavad Gita then? It's not a song of God. That is a song of Arjuna and Dhritarashtra and Sanjay. How do we consider them as part of Bhagavad Gita then? Yeah, anybody has answer for this or any guess?
I can make an assumption.
Yeah, right.
So, like Prabhupada also explained, whenever king is there, he is always with his associates. So, like, it is song of God, and even if in the material world, when we see that a singer is never alone, he is always with some people, other people as well. So that is one thing, and another thing that questions has to be asked. Then only Krishna will speak, like a
Right.
conversation. No.
Yeah. Good, very good attempt. Yeah. Anybody else want to say add to this? Okay. Yeah, almost what Prabhu said was correct. Yeah. one thing is that actually who has written this Bhagavad Gita? Written means who has composed it?
Yeah, they.
Veda
Yeah,
Vyas.
originally, yeah, all literatures composed by Vyasadeva. So actually, the Arjuna, Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra, all these things were composed by Vyasadeva himself. So there is a Nyaya. Nyaya, all of you understand, is logic basically. Like about Prabhupada explains many kinds of logic. Sakha Chandra Nyaya, just like a person is or a child is not able to see the moon. So mother will say, "Do you see the tree?" He will say yes. "Do you see the two branches of the tree?" He will say yes. Then you see in between the two branches there is a shining object, that is moon. So moon is not in between the branches. Moon is far away. But the logic is told in that way to make him understand that yeah, where is the location of moon? That is one kind of nyaya. Shakha Chandra nyaya. Like this here is Lavani Path. Okay, Lavan is basically salt. All of you know salt, right? Okay, Lavana is called salt. Whichever salt you may see, black salt, sea salt, or Sena Namak, whatever. So Lavana, Akar. Akar is the house of, or the, we say, accumulation of, or conglomeration of. Like we have uh, what many names are there? Prabhakar. Prabha means the light, the house of light, kind of Prabhakar or Divakar, like that. Okay. So similarly here it is Lavanakar, the house or the conglomeration or the whole pile of, salt. Nipat, Lavanakar, Nipat. Nipat means something falls in that. So imagine a apple is there, okay, and you have removed the skin of the apple. That falls in the salt. And what is the salt? It is like whole go down of salt is there. Lavanakar. So this apple will become saltish or not? Yeah, it will become saltish. Correct. Similarly, the words of, so I will write this name of the Nyaya. It's called Lavanakar Nipat Nyaya. So anything which falls into the salt go down also becomes saltish. Similarly, the words of Arjuna and Sanjay and Dhritarashtra, although not spoken by Krishna himself, because they are here in the Bhagavad Gita, which is majorly spoken by Krishna, they are also a part of the Bhagavad Gita. And as Prabhuji was saying, the same thing, just to strike a conversation, somebody has to ask, so then somebody else can answer, right? Just to make that conversation happen, other shlokas are also there as part of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so this is called Lavanakar Nipatanyaya. So anything which falls in the salty go down also becomes saltish. Okay, that is the explanation of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Okay, and we hear about many names given to Krishna, right? Like Rishikesha and what other names are given? Uh, Madhusudana, correct? Arisudana, Madhusudana, like that. We have in the whole Bhagavad Gita, we have actually 33 different names of Krishna. And as well, we see Arjuna also being addressed as different names by Krishna, like Mahabahu. Okay, so like that, many names are there. We have what is it? Gudakesha,
Bharat,
Bharat,
Dhananjay.
conqueror of the sea.
Dhananjaya.
Like that, we have Arjuna. We have total 20 names. Sambodhana, these are called 20 names of Arjuna are there in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so this is little brief about Bhagavad Gita, as well as the part of 13.1 was the main discussion, that if somebody asks that okay, your Bhagavad Gita has extra shloka maybe, so we should say that yes, actually, why do we consider our Bhagavad Gita 13.1 is the right one? It's there, it's spoken by Arjuna, because our acharyas like Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan, and Srila Prabhupada all have accepted this 13.1 shloka spoken by Arjuna, and they have commented on it. So because our acharyas have commented on it, so we consider it as the original part of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. And they have accepted this as a part of the whole Bhagavad Gita. So we also accept. So this is the our logic. So somebody says, oh, yes, outside the other, maybe Ramanuja or Madhvacharya's Sampradaya, or actually Gita Press. So they are not having, so they may be following their acharyas who have commented on that book. Okay, so that we are not going to argue with them. So we have our acharyas commenting on them, and we accept it that it's part of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, yes. Anybody has any question? One hand was raised.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
Prabhuji, just want to understand. It may happen both are true.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Can it
Yeah. Tell,
happen?
yes. Yeah. That's what I also said. That both we should accept as true only because their acharyas have spoken according to that version, and they have explained it to them. And our acharyas are explaining according to this version, 13.1. That's true. So you want to make any other point?
No, yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, I had raised the hand. So
Yes.
originally all the Shastras are written by Vyasdev only, and Bhagavad Gita is part of Mahabharata. So, like, what version is there in that? That is the question.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Mahabharata has what our acharya is explaining has this part. 13.1 is included. And
In
what
Mahabharata.
Mahabharata, yeah, it's part of Mahabharata. Only what Mahabharata they will be referring doesn't have this 13.1. That's what.
Okay.
The point. Yeah, that's
Okay.
how it is explained.
So, like, how does this variation comes? Because I was reading Bhagavatam in that also, Srila Prabhupada is writing the last line of this verse
Yeah.
is different from our version and something like that he has written. So, how come does this variations come? Because it should fall as it is.
Yeah, that's what we explained. Na? As it is means what? Those 10 points.
Okay.
In that, did anywhere we get that the number of these shlokas and that shloka should be there? It's not that that is as it is. What was counted as it is Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the jivas are his servant, and jiva is different from the Krishna. Like that, we discussed these 10 essential points. Dasha Mula Tattva. Correct. There was no description about that the shlokas should be same like that. Okay. So that is the point here. Okay. Any other questions anybody has on whatever we discussed till now? Okay. So I will be sharing here the PPT first shloka now. This is 13.1. Okay. So this shloka is Arjuna Uvacha. Okay. So here you can see the shloka. Now I'll be sharing the other version which is generally popular outside. Okay, you can see it is in Hindi, but I hope you will be able to see it. Okay, is it visible?
Yes, Prabhu.
Trayodasha Adhyaya. Trayodasha is 13th. Okay. So this is the Gita Press version. And what is the first shloka they have is Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetram iti abhidiyete etadyo vetti tam rahu kshetragya iti tad vidaha. Okay. So this is the first shloka which they say that directly Krishna started speaking. Okay. That is the version they say. But our acharyas, as I told, have commented on this 13.1 shloka, which is spoken by Arjuna as a question, and that seems to be more logical and common sense. Okay, Krishna is asked by Arjuna, and then Krishna is going to answer it. Okay, so let's discuss this shloka. So, as I told, our method of study will be based on those 5 elements. That is basically the first 2 elements were synonyms itself, right? Padacheda, Padarthokti means dividing the different terms of the shloka, and then the meanings of that. So both Srila Prabhupada has covered in the synonyms part. Okay. And then there is Vigraha explaining the difficult part of the shloka that will be coming in the purport. And there is Anvaya basically making a legible sentence that is there in the translation here, 4th part. Correct. And last was Akshepasya Nidana means basically Samadhana of Akshepa or the doubts. So that will also Prabhupada will do in the purport. That sometimes a doubt may be raised like this. I explained it last time. Okay. So those 5 aspects we will cover in the our study of each shloka. Okay, first shloka. So you can all recite this shloka, but kindly keep yourself on mute and recite. Okay, otherwise different devotees recite at different time. That creates little disturbance. Okay, and then one devotee I will ask to read. Okay, the translation, and then we go ahead. Okay, so that is the sequence we will follow. So Arjuna uvacha prakritim purusham chaiva kshetram kshetragyam eva cha etad veditum ichhami jnanam gyayam cha keshava. Okay, somebody can read the translation. Yes, Santosh Prabhu would like to read translation.
Yes, Prabhuji. Arjuna said, O my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti, nature, Purusha, the enjoyer, and the field and the knower of the field, and of knowledge and the object of knowledge.
Thank you. So, as I told already, how many questions are asked here by Krishna, by Arjuna? The 6 questions are asked. Basically, 6 terms he is asking Krishna to elaborate upon. Okay. So, what he is saying, Arjuna uvacha, Arjun spoke. What did he speak? Veditum ichhami. Okay, what is the meaning of the word veditum? To understand. Ichhami, I wish to understand. Okay, what do I wish to understand? First, prakritim. What is prakritim? Srila Prabhupada translated as nature. Okay, so first is the prakriti. I want to know about that. Second, what I want to know? Purusham, the enjoyer. Okay, so who is the enjoyer? We will see in the purport. But this is the second item he wants to know. Purusham, cha eva, and also I want to know kshetram. That is the third item. What is kshetram? The field. The field, basically field of activity, or where any activity is performed. Okay, okay. This is third field. And then kshetragyam. This is the fourth one. I want to know what is kshetragyam. What Srila Prabhupada is translating here. The knower of the field. What one is the activity or the field itself where the activity is happening, and then who is the knower of that field. Okay, that is the fourth object of knowledge. And then etad, these all, veditum ichhami, I wish to know, I wish to understand. Ved means knowledge, basically. Veditum means to know, wish to know. Ichhami. Jnanam geyam cha. And also I want to know jnanam and geyam. Fifth is jnanam. What is jnanam? The knowledge. Knowledge about what? The other 5 aspects which are there in this shloka. And geyam is what I want to know also? The object of knowledge. Okay. So the object of knowledge, then kshetragya, the knower of the field, kshetram, the field itself, the purusha, the enjoyer, and the prakriti, the nature. These other 5 things I want to know. That item is knowing is jnanam. Okay. So from whom he is wanting to know? Cha Keshava. From you. Oh Krishna, I want to know from you these 6 items. Okay. 6 questions of Arjuna. Okay, that is the summary of this verse. Okay, these are the 6 questions which Arjuna is asking to Krishna. Okay, so let's see what Srila Prabhupada speaks in the purport. Yes, Prabhu, please read.
Arjuna was inquisitive about Prakriti, nature, Purusha, the enjoyer, Kshetra, the field, Kshetragya, its knower, and knowledge and the object of knowledge. When he inquired about all these, Krishna said that this body is called the field, and that one who knows this body is called the knower of the field. This body is the field of activity for the conditioned soul. The conditioned soul is entrapped in material existence and he attempts to lord it over material nature. And so, according to his capacity to dominate material nature, he gets a field of activity. That field of activity is the body.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. So now, as we are reading the purport, I will ask devotees that which part of the shloka is Srila Prabhupada elaborating upon. Okay. So what we will do, we will see that how actually Srila Prabhupada is giving a very, very systematic purport. He is not just speaking something, whatever is there, philosophy. Okay. So he'll speak the whole purport based on some part of the shloka. So kindly, if you have a hard copy of the book, keep it with yourself. Keep the shloka open with you so that you can actually see the shloka as we are reading the purport. and I will be asking that which part of the shloka is Srila Prabhupada elaborating upon. So now somebody can tell me this first line which is there. So what I have, not me, this is PPT made by his guest Balram Shakti Prabhu. So what we have done here is each sentence we have taken it as different points, and so that it's good to underline and also explain and write some comments here. Okay, so now tell here this first point which is there, which part of the shloka it's explaining, is Prabhupada touching upon?
Veditum. It's
Okay, Veditum. Okay, what else? Where is it Veditum mentioned in this point?
Ikshami, like Veditum Ikshami.
No, no. In
Inquisitive
this purport,
Ikshami.
first line, which
Okay.
word is indicating about Veditum? Ichchami. I want to know. Which word is
Inquisitive.
indicating? Yes,
Inquisitive.
yes. Yeah, inquisitive about. So, Srila Prabhupada is writing the point about here, Veditum Ichchami. I wish to know. Okay. What else Prabhupada is speaking in this point? Which part of the shloka?
First point only, Prabhuji, or second point?
Somebody else would like to say.
Jnanam Geyam.
Okay, yes. Jnanam and Gem. Where is it indicated in this line?
The knowledge and the object of knowledge.
Oh, yes, very good. Knowledge. That is Jnanam. Sorry, write in English. Jnanam. And the object of knowledge, that is Geyam. Okay, what else is written in this point from the shloka? Other things are directly mentioned, right? Kshetragya also Prabhupada has told. Kshetra also he has told. Correct? Purusha and Prakriti, all terms are there. So basically, Prabhupada is telling about this word Veditum Ichchami. He is expanding on them. Okay, Veditum Ichchami. That Arjuna is inquisitive about these 6 aspects. Okay, now let's go to the second line. When he inquired about all these, Krishna said, where did Krishna say? Did Krishna say anything here?
We have not read the second part of, like, Prabhupada has
Second verse.
explained one and second verse we have not read.
Yeah. Actually, Prabhupada is speaking about the future verse already, the future shloka. Okay. So many times we will see
Actually,
Prabhupada will, yeah.
actually, Prabhupada has given the purport combined, like 13.1 and 2 are combined together. The translation is also combined.
Yeah. Correct. So if you have the book in front of you, you can see the shloka in the book is 13.1 and 2 together. And Prabhupada has given the
Yes,
purport also together. But Srila
yes.
Baldev Vidyabhushan and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur have given separate purports. So that's why we have taken it separately. Okay. So basically, this
Okay.
will be coming in the shloka number 2. Okay. That Krishna will start answering. That's why Prabhupada has been mentioning here. Okay. So Krishna said what he will say in the next shloka, which is there. Idam shariram konteya kshetramiti abhidhiyate. Yeah. That he will say. Krishna will say that this body is called the field of activity. Okay. That we will be seeing in the next shloka. Okay. So what I will do is we will go to that shloka also. Okay. Because it is also in next section. Krishna explains Kshetra. We will see this shloka and then come back to the purport. Okay. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetram iti abhidhiyate etad yo vetti tam prahu Kshetragya iti tadvidah. Yes, somebody else can read the translation. And just 1 minute, one translation. I will share. Srila Prabhupada. If you have the book, you can read, Prabhu, the translation. 13.2.
The Supreme
Somebody else
only
has the
only to the
13.2. Second part, yeah.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "This body, O son of Kunti, is called the field, and one who knows this body is called the knower of the field."
Yeah. So what Krishna is saying, he is answering the question. So can somebody tell which part of the question did he answer out of these 6? Which part of the question has he answered?
Kshetra,
Kshetra and
Kshetragya.
Kshetragya.
What? Say again. One person, one devotee can say.
Kshetra and Kshetragya.
Kshetra and Kshetragya. Correct. Okay. Kshetra and Kshetragya he has answered. So I'll share the screen. See now. Yeah. So here he is saying this body. Okay. This body refers to what? Idam Shariram. This body. Kaunteya, O son of Kunti. Kshetramiti abhidhiyate. So what is answered now? Kshetra. That is answered. Iti abhidhiyate. This body is the Kshetra. Etad yo vetti tam prahu kshetragya iti tadvidah. And one who knows this body is called knower of the field, Kshetragya. These two questions are answered in this shloka. Okay, where Krishna actually speaks. Okay. So now let's go to the purport of this. Yeah, so now you can see when he inquired, who is he? Who is he?
Arjun.
Arjun inquired. What he inquired? The 6 items. Okay, what Krishna said? That this body is called the field. Okay, so Kshetra. And that one who knows this body is called the knower of the field, Kshetragya. Okay, that part of the shloka Prabhupada is saying. Yeah, this body is the field of activity for the conditioned soul. Okay, so specifically Prabhupada is saying it is field of activity for the conditioned soul. And then he is elaborating about the conditioned soul is entrapped in the material existence and he attempts to lord it over material nature. So, according to his capacity to dominate material nature, he gets a field of activity. That field of activity is the body. So, where else in Bhagavad Gita this same concept is spoken? Which sloka actually Prabhupada is also explaining here? You have read in the previous unit. Okay, about this conditioned soul trying to enjoy the material nature, trying to lord over the material nature. Which is the shloka?
7.5.
What is the shloka?
Mame Vamshi.
Aparayamitastu anya
Yeah.
prakritim viddhi me param jibhutamabha. Yeah, idam. This one?
Yeah, idam dharyate jagat. Okay, this is one. Where else he says? 2-3 places Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, where the living entity is trying to enjoy the material nature. Okay, so edam dharyate jagat, that is one of them. Okay, so basically Prabhupada is explaining about the nature of the conditioned soul. First is that he is entrapped, and when he is entrapped, what is his activity? His activity is to trying to dominate the material nature. Why? Because he considers himself the enjoyer. Okay, that also will come ahead. Okay, he is considering himself as a purusha. Okay, he attempts to lord it over the material nature. This is what the nature of purusha. He is trying to be purusha, but is he actually a purusha? No, actual purusha, the actual enjoyer is the super soul or Krishna, actual enjoyer of prakriti over the material nature, lord it over the material nature. Purusha trying to enjoy the prakriti. Okay, so that is what here material nature is prakriti. Okay, let's go ahead. Yes, please continue. Who was reading? Yes, Santosh Prabhu, you were reading the purport.
Okay. And what is the body? The body is made of senses. The conditioned soul wants to enjoy sense gratification, and according to his capacity to enjoy sense gratification, he is offered a body or field of activity. Therefore, the body is called Kshetra or the field of activity for the conditioned soul. Now, the person who should not identify himself with the body is called Kshetragya, the knower of the field. It is not very difficult to understand the difference between the field and its knower, the body and the knower of the body.
Yeah. So now Prabhupada is explaining about the body. So which aspect of the shloka he is explaining now? What is this body? What is that term in the shloka for this body?
Idam Shariram.
Okay. Idam Shariram. Okay. What is the denomination for it?
Kshetram.
Kshetram. Correct. So that is the Kshetram. The Kshetra aspect he is describing. Okay. And what it is made up of? It is made of the senses. So this will come in the further shloka. Okay. So again, the fourth shloka, Krishna will speak the aspects about these 6 terms, and then he will say about the constitution of this body and the other aspects. So that will be coming up in the shloka ahead, in the shloka number 6. Yes, correct. 6 and 7. Okay. It's made up of the senses and other things. This will be coming in the shloka number 13.6 and 7. What are those senses? What are those 24 elements? All that will be coming there. Next, he's saying the conditioned soul wants to enjoy sense gratification. And according to his capacity to enjoy sense gratification, he is offered a body or the field of activity. So now he is speaking about which aspect? The Kshetra aspect here. But main point is what he is trying to enjoy. That is Purusha aspect. And therefore, the body is called Kshetra or the field of activity of the conditioned soul. Okay, a liberated soul, we want to enjoy the field, that is body? No. So that is not counted here as the enjoyer of the field. Only a conditioned soul is counted. So sometimes we have this question actually, why is the Maya holding us so much? If the Maya releases us, then we will go and just enjoy with Krishna. So actually one of the disciples was asking his guru that Guruji, please tell me the answer. Why does Maya not leave me? So Guruji, instead of answering directly, he just started running and then started running and went and caught a tree and started embracing the tree. And then disciple was also running behind Guru. What happened to Guru? This question I asked and started running. So he went and then he saw that Guruji is just holding a tree and he is not leaving. So disciple asked, what happened? So the Guruji said, you did not get your answer. You don't know. So the story is long, just telling in short that he said that, see, it's not that tree is holding me. Okay. It's not that Maya is holding me. Okay. We are holding the Maya. So when we are holding the Maya, so who has to release? So we only have to release the grip. Then only we will come out, right? So here, very, very important point we have to understand. If we were thinking that just if we did not have these eyes, we did not have these senses, then we would not be wanting to enjoy. We would have very easily got liberated, correct? And we also hear about many people thinking that, we hear the example also, some of the great personalities that they removed their eyes because it was troubling them. So we are not supposed to follow. So what is the understanding? See, the enjoyment which is, or the senses which is given for the living entity is desired by the living entity. See the point which Prabhupada is saying here. Because the soul wants to enjoy. What is the first activity the soul wants to enjoy? So now which aspect here it is there? We discussed 3 types of doer, right? Do you remember? 3 types of doer. What are the 3 types of doer? Karta. We discussed in last to last class. What are the 3 types of doer? And which kind of doer is living entity?
Desirer. He desires.
Desiring doer. Correct. He desires. He's the desiring doer. Okay. So what is the living entity's point here? He desired to enjoy sense gratification. And then what happened? According to that desire and according to his capacity to enjoy sense gratification, he is offered a body. So who offered this body?
Super soul.
Prakriti.
No. Yeah, performing doer. Who is the performing doer? The Prakriti.
Prakriti.
The Prakriti, she is the performing doer. And in between both of these, one person is there. One doer is there. Who is that?
Sanctioner.
Sanctioning doer. That was Krishna. So Krishna, according to the living entity desire, Krishna sanctioned it and then Prakriti did it. She offered. Okay. So just because we desire something, suppose I want to go to Swarga now. So we cannot just go in the same bodies. We have the examples in Srimad Bhagavatam, like Trishanku. He wanted to go to Swarga in the very same body, but he was not allowed. Okay. So the person should have the required piety, required the subtle body, different body to enter into that planet. So that kind of body Prakriti gives as per the living entity's desire as well as the deservance. How whether it desires, whether it deserves. Both the things are seen. Desire as well as deserve. Okay. So sometimes we may think that, okay, if we did not have the senses, we would have got liberated very easily. If that was the case, then you must have heard about ghosts or the bhuta or preta. So they are those personalities who have ended their life before the life was supposed to end. Okay. So they have done some suicide or they were actually some accident which is called akal mrityu. So those personalities which are supposed to endure some more time in the same body need to have their piety and sins suffered and enjoyed in the same body have left the body earlier. So they are put into this kind of situation where they are not having any gross body. So these ghosts, they have only subtle body, mind, intelligence, ego. They don't have any gross body. So if that was the case, then we would have said this ghost is at least half liberated, right? They don't have the senses. They should not be trying to enjoy. But we have heard many cases that they enter into a person who is having gross body and they try to enjoy through that person. Okay. So the point we have to understand here is that just taking away the senses is not the solution. Our internal wiring has to change, that we are not the enjoyer. Then we can engage these senses into Krishna's service and get liberated. Okay. Just removing the senses will not help us. Okay. So that is the point. So now the person who should not identify himself with the body is called Kshetragya, the knower of the field. Okay, who is this Kshetragya? So it will come later. I'm just saying here, it is the liberated soul as well as the Paramatma. Okay, both. The liberated soul does not identify with the body. So he is also Kshetragya as well as Paramatma, who is situated in every body. So Paramatma is knower of all the bodies, whereas the conditioned soul is knower of his own body as an enjoyer. Liberated soul is also the knower of the body, but he doesn't consider himself the enjoyer. That is the difference. Okay. So it is not very difficult to understand the difference between the field and its knower, the body and the knower of the body. So Prabhupada will speak about this point further, then we will see. Yes, Prabhu, continue.
Any person can consider that from childhood to old age, he undergoes so many changes of the body, and yet is still one person remaining. Thus, there is a difference between the knower of the field of activities and the actual field of activities. A living conditioned soul can thus understand that he is different from the body. It is described in the beginning, Deino Asmin, that the living entity is within the body and that the body is changing from childhood to boyhood and from boyhood to youth and from youth to old age. And the person who owns the body knows that the body is changing.
Yeah. So previous slide. This point Prabhupada is continuing, that it is not very difficult to understand the difference between the field and its knower. So, Kshetra and Kshetragya. This aspect now Prabhupada is going to explain here. These two aspects Prabhupada is going to explain. So he is saying that even a child can actually very easily understand that there is a difference between the Kshetragya and the Kshetra. How can he understand what Prabhupada is saying? He is saying that the body undergoes so many changes. So many biological changes are there in the body, right? Okay, the cells are changing every 7 years, we hear, right? The whole body is changing in the 7 years. So even a child can understand with little bit intelligence that these two are different. Okay. So a living conditioned soul can thus understand that he is different from the body. So this is the example Prabhupada has given to explain how one can understand. And Prabhupada is quoting one shloka for this. Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara prapti dhirastatra na muhyati. Correct. That he is quoting here. That dhira, a knower or a sober person, he is not muhyati, he is not disturbed by what? By the changes happening in the body. Okay. So how is the changes happening? Kaumaram yauvanam jara. From the kaumar, childhood, to boyhood, to adulthood, yauvanam, and then jara. Okay, and then tata dehantara, then dehantar will happen. Then after dying, he will get another body. Tata dehantara prapti. Okay, the person who knows the body is changing. Yeah, continue.
The owner is distinctly Kshetragya. Sometimes we think, I am happy, I am a man, I am a woman, I am a dog, I am a cat. These are the bodily designations of the knower. But the knower is different from the body. Although we may use many articles, our clothes, etc., we know that we are different from the things used. Similarly, we also understand by a little contemplation that we are different from the body.
Yeah, so Prabhupada is just discussing on the same topic, the difference between Kshetra and Kshetragya. A small child can also understand. And he is also explaining that the identification with the body is actually like this. I am happy, I am a man, I am a woman, I am a dog, I am a cat. Obviously, no human being thinks like that. I am a dog, I am a cat. Cats and dog only will think like that. Okay. Yeah, some nowadays we have seen that people who are wanting to become a dog, so they are having those kind of tendencies. That is also coming. So these are the bodily designations of the knower. Okay. So that is the Kshetragya identifies with the Kshetra. Okay, that is a point. And then he is knower of the different, he is knower of the body, and a liberated soul knows that I am different from the body. Okay. Conditioned soul thinks I am the body. Liberated soul knows that he is different from the body. Okay. And then he gives the example that how we don't identify with our articles like clothes. So we understand we are different from that. In the same way, body is also a designation for us. Okay. So this is my body, we say, not I body. That also Prabhupada explains many places. Yeah, continue.
I or you or anyone else who owns the body is called Kshetragya, the knower of the field of activities. And the body is called Kshetra, the field of activities itself. In the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, the knower of the body, the living entity, and the position by which he can understand the Supreme Lord are described. In the middle 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the relationship between the individual soul and the super soul in regard to devotional service are described.
Yeah. So here he is saying anybody, I, you, or anyone else who owns this body, who is the owner of the body, is called Kshetragya. Okay. So now another aspect is there that even a conditioned soul can be called a Kshetragya. Why? Because he may not identify with the body, but he also knows what is happening in the body. Not everything, but he knows where I am getting pain. where I'm getting pleasure in the body. Correct. If somebody eats very good palatable things, even a conditioned soul knows that yes, I'm trying to enjoy. I'm not trying to enjoy. He understands that I'm enjoying. But liberated soul also, when he eats, he will also know. But he identifies not with the body. But a conditioned soul identifies with the body. So that is very important point here to be noted, that Kshetrajna is both conditioned soul as well as liberated soul. But the liberated soul does not identify with the body. Conditioned soul identifies with the body. Both are knower of the field. Okay. Now Prabhupada is summarizing what is happening in the first 6 chapters and then what is happening in the 7 to 12 middle 6 chapters. So first 6 chapters, as we discussed earlier, that Bhagavad Gita, the knower of the body, living entity, and the position by which he can understand the Supreme Lord are described. Okay, that is the part of Karma Yoga. Okay, and then he's saying middle 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, the Supreme Personal Godhead, and the relationship between the individual soul and the super soul in regard to devotional service are described. That is Bhakti Yoga. By the medium of Bhakti Yoga, the relationship is described between Krishna and the living entity. Okay, yeah, please continue.
The superior position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the subordinate position of the individual soul are definitely defined in these chapters. The
Now
living
these
entity,
chapters, yeah, 1 minute, the 13 to 17, or you can say a part of 18 also. Now Prabhupada is saying that what he describes the superior position of the Supreme Personality Godhead. Okay, that is the Paramatma. We can say that how he is the Kshetrajna of all the bodies. He is knower of all the bodies, and the subordinate position, that is the lower position of the individual soul. That is, he is also Kshetrajna, but he is not having full knowledge of his own body as well as the knowledge of others' body. What is the pain going on in others' body? We don't know. What is the pleasure going on in others' body? We don't know. Correct. So, but a Paramatma or the Kshetrajna who is Krishna, Paramatma will know the pains in all the bodies and pains in pleasures in all the bodies. That is the difference. Yeah, continue.
the living entities are subordinate under all circumstances, but in their forgetfulness they are suffering. When enlightened by pious activities, they approach the Supreme Lord in different capacities as the distressed, those in want of money, the inquisitive, and those in search of knowledge. That is also described.
The living entities are subordinate under all circumstances, but in their forgetfulness, they are suffering. Okay. And then Prabhupada quotes a verse of Bhagavad Gita here. Which verse he is quoting? That who approach Krishna and in what condition? Which shloka Prabhupada is quoting here?
Chaturvidha bhajante mam.
Yeah. Chaturvidha bhajante mam. Correct. That shloka is saying that the 4 categories basically, that is distressed. What is the word there for the distressed?
Artha.
Artha. Correct. Artho, those in want of money.
Artharthi.
Arth, arthi, those who are wanting artha, that is money. Inquisitive, what is the word for that?
Jigyasu.
Jigyasu, correct. And those in search of knowledge. This is Jnani. Correct. So these 4 Prabhupada is saying that these, when enlightened by pious activities. What do we mean by pious activities? These are not just digging well, giving charity, or building some water tanks. These are not the pious activities Prabhupada is saying about. Which pious activity he is saying? These are the Bhakti Sukriti pious activities. Special pious activities called Bhakti Sukriti. How do we know that is Bhakti Sukriti only? How are you saying, Prabhu? Is it written like that? Yes, it is written. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritino arjuna. Krishna is only saying those jana who have commit the sukriti. Kriti means who have done. Correct. Kriti means to do some activity. Sukriti means pious activity. Which kind of pious activity? Special activities. What are the special activities? That is bhakti unmukh sukriti. Otherwise, everybody who is a beggar would have become devotee. Everybody who is in hospital, who is suffering, would have become devotee. Why not everybody become devotee then? Everybody who is scientist, who is having some knowledge, who is searching some knowledge, would have become devotee. Why not everybody become devotee? That is because they don't have bhakti sukriti. Okay, they have not been enlightened. What is the meaning of enlightenment? Is to gain bhakti sukriti. Okay, that is sadhu sangha. By sadhu sangha, one gets bhakti sukriti. Then one comes to bhakti. So how did we come to bhakti? Because we have gained some sadhu sangha, some sukriti in the past lives. That's why we could come to bhakti. How some of the beggars become bhakti? How some of the people who are in hospital become bhakti? Even though they have distress, because they have the past life bhakti sukriti. That's why they come towards Krishna. Okay. And when this sukriti reaches to its threshold level, after many lifetimes, when after one reaches this threshold, that turns into shraddha. Okay. That is faith into bhakti. Then one starts practicing bhakti yoga. Okay. So where is this mentioned? This is mentioned in Madhurya Kadamini. Every chapter is there systematically described. And also there is shloka in the 10th canto, 53rd chapter, 51st shloka, Muchukundas shloka. Bhavapavargo brahmatam yado bhavet janasya tarhi achyuta satsamagamaha. So he says there that bhavapavargo janato yada bhavet achyut satsamagamaha. Janasya tarhi achyut satsamagamaha. Achyut means Krishna. Jana. That means his people. Who are these people? Devotees. Some agamaha. When somebody comes into his contact, the contact of the devotee, then what happens? He becomes a person who is devotee. And then his material life is completely destroyed. Okay. Bhava apavargo. Okay. Bhava apavargo. That means the liberation is accomplished when he becomes a devotee. Like that is said. Okay. Yeah. Continue, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, one question.
We will take after this purport. Yeah.
Now,
Continue.
starting with the 13th chapter, how the living entity comes into contact with material nature and how he is delivered by the Supreme Lord through the different methods of fruitive activities, cultivation of knowledge, and the discharge of devotional service are explained. Although the living entity is completely different from the material body, he somehow becomes related. That this also is explained.
Now Prabhupada is giving the whole summary of this chapter. So this is called Karika. Okay. Basically, a Karika is a self-composed verse which generally our Acharya like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baldev Bhushan, they will give in summary at the purport of the very first shloka that what is going to come in this chapter. Like if you see Krishna book, sorry, not Krishna book, the Bhagavatam of I think third or fourth canto onwards, there is summary of each chapter Prabhupada has given before the chapter begins. Okay, in summary whatever that chapter is going to cover. So this is what Prabhupada is doing here. He has translated the Karika of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushan, and he's saying what now starting with the 13th chapter, what is going to happen in this chapter, how the living entity comes into contact with the material nature. That is first topic. Then how he is delivered by the Supreme Lord through different methods of fruitive activities. That is Karma Yoga, cultivation of knowledge, Jnana Yoga, and the discharge of devotional service are explained, Bhakti Yoga. So by these three methods, one can actually get liberated. By performing Karma Yoga also one can get liberated. But surely at the end of Karma Yoga, one has to advance to Jnana Yoga and then if he wants to Ashtanga Yoga, then become liberated. But Karma Yoga is at least the beginning. And then Jnana Yoga is itself, he can get liberated. And Bhakti Yoga, surely one can get liberated very easily without doing the hard austerities. So although living entity is completely different from the metal body, it somehow becomes related. The identification is there with the body. And why does that identification is there in the person? Because of avidya. Okay, so later we will see these five aspects. Avidya is there because of that. Asmita comes. Asmi, that is me. Ta, this is me. He identifies with the body. This is me. I am this body. Asmita. Okay, raga. Then there is a tendency to enjoy which gives pleasure. Dvesha, tendency to envy which gives pain. And then there is duality between that both of them. Okay, raga and dvesh duality. Okay, these are the five things which will be coming, but root is avidya. Okay, Yes, so we have completed Prabhupada's purport. Yeah, any questions on this?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Just 1 minute, Prabhu. 1 minute. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, just I want to understand, like without a bhakti sukruti, one's devotion service cannot start. But like Prabhupada preached to hippies, and Prabhupada said, you don't have any qualification, I made your qualification. So in the same lifetime, they can advance so much without having any bhakti sukruti. And another one disciple asked to Prabhupada, how much time is required to go back home, back to Godhead? So Prabhupada replied, within a 1 minute. So I just want to understand these things.
Yeah. So basically, what we are trying to do is we are saying that what Prabhupada mentioned about the word qualification is Sukriti, right? You are saying that you don't
Yes.
have any qualification means Prabhupada meant that they don't have any Sukriti.
Yes.
Correct. But that Prabhupada did not tell. That we are saying. Correct, na? That we are thinking like this, na? That Prabhupada meant this. But we don't know Prabhupada meant like that. Correct, na? So what I am trying to explain here now, the answer to your question is that Prabhupada may have said qualification of something else about bhakti only, but this is what the Siddhanta is explained by our acharyas. And Prabhupada also speaks at other places, as I told, 10th canto. So when the living entity attains Sukriti, then only he becomes a devotee. Okay. So Prabhupada being a very, very great acharya also, okay, Nityasiddha devotee, he can himself actually bestow any Sukriti so that he can start practicing in this very life. That is very much possible, and it has happened in many of the cases and some of our cases also. Correct. But we cannot say exactly whose case it has happened and exactly whose case it has not happened. Okay. And we cannot also say that everybody who came into bhakti at the time when Prabhupada was there was given qualification only by Prabhupada. Because there are some people also who came in touch with Prabhupada who did not become devotees or who left bhakti later. Correct. So we cannot just say blanket statement that it is like this only. Okay, Prabhu. Is it okay?
Yeah, then and the Prabhupada said within a 1 minute you can go back
Yeah,
home, back to
second part.
Godhead.
Second part of the question. Yeah, within 1 minute you can go back to Godhead. Yes. So other places also we will see Bahujanma yadi kare Shravana Kirtan tabuta na paibe Krishna Premadhan. Chaitanya Charitamrita, this shloka comes that even after many lifetimes, if you practice bhakti, you will not go back to Godhead. I will show that shloka. Okay. So because I want to answer what is there in the Shastra, so I will show that shloka for your reference. Hmm. Yes, Prabhuji. Is the shloka visible?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, this is Adi Leela, chapter 8, shloka number 16. Bahu janma kare yadi shravana kirtana tabutana paya Krishna pade premadhana. Okay, please read the translation.
If one is infested with the 10 offenses in chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many births, he will not get the love of Godhead. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting.
Yeah, so this translation who has done?
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada. So we are speaking from Prabhupada only. What he is saying that one cannot go back to God. It means the prema he cannot attain. Okay. In many births. When? If the person is having the offensive mentality, the 10 offenses he is committing in the chanting of Hare Krishna or any other limb of bhakti. Okay, so you can maybe read the purport also of this. Prabhupada explained what is the meaning of this statement. So one thing we can say that when Prabhupada is saying that you can go back to Godhead in 1 minute, you can go back to Godhead in this very life. So Prabhupada is also trying to encourage us. Okay, that we should not be loose in our bhakti. We should try to do our bhakti with full determination. Okay. Does that answer Prabhuji a little bit?
Yes, yes. So, Prabhuji, I also understanding same thing. We should not take literal meaning. We should
No, we should
understand the
take literal
spirit.
meaning. No, we should take literal
Here
meaning
in 1 minute,
also.
uh, here in 1 minute
Uh,
statement, we should take a spirit of the Prabhupada, not take a
uh,
literal meaning like that.
yeah, in this context, yes,
Mm.
because the Shastra has to be understood overall. We cannot make philosophy out of one statement. Philosophy is there throughout the Shastra, and everything has to be reconciled and then understood. So we cannot just take one letter of Prabhupada and tell this is the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Book distribution is the only activity to be done. No chanting required. No, we have to see other statements also where Prabhupada told that chanting. No book reading required, only book distribution. No, other places we have to see where Prabhupada told that not only distribute my books but also read them. So everything is wholesome. We have to take everything in whole spirit, like that. And wherever literal things are there, literally we have to take it. And wherever it is inspirational or figurative, we have to take it figuratively, but based on Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. That is the point. Not based on whatever is coming to our mind or we are understanding, like that. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu.
One more devotee, I think, had a question or somebody raised hand.
Uh, I just wanted to like discuss this point only. That yes, 1 minute thing. So, we also have the example of the king, no, who served the demigods and asked how much time is left for my body, and in within एक ही पैर में he went back to Godhead. Mm. So, like, I just wanted to discuss that.
Yeah, actually, that king is Khatvanga Maharaj. Okay.
That
So,
only.
if somebody actually has attained to that level of prema or attained to the level of the bhakti which is required to go back to Godhead, then only he will go. And if he went, that means he has attained that. Okay. So, for that also, I'll show one reference, bro. Okay. That how one does not go back to Godhead without at least attaining that stage. This is spoken by Rishabh Dev, 5th canto. Okay. So, I will show that shloka. He says that until unless a living entity attains prema, he will not go back to Godhead. That is a clear statement he has mentioned. Okay. Canto 5. Yes. Deha Yoga. Okay, please see this, bro, and read the translation. Okay. So, Priti na yavat mai vasudeve namuchyate deha yogena tavat. Okay. Please read the translation. This is 5.5.6. Yeah. Read this. Highlighted.
Okay. Therefore, until one has love for Lord Vasudev, who is who is none other than myself, is certainly not delivered from having to accept a material body again and again.
Okay. So, one will be there in the material world until unless he attains Krishna Prem, which is the qualification to go back to Godhead. Okay, so this is the Siddhanta which is there in Srimad Bhagavatam Shloka. I am not telling from purport. This is told by Rishabdev, translated by Srila Prabhupada only. So somebody may say that yes, one lifetime only Prabhupada told, 1 minute only he told. No, we have to read the whole Shastra and everything we have to reconcile. We cannot just make one statement and take the philosophy out of it. Okay, so we have completed these first two shlokas. Okay, now we'll see just quickly third shloka. Then we'll end with this. Kshetragyam chapi. 1 minute. Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi sarvakshetreshu bharata kshetra kshetragayo jnanam yattat jnanam tam mama. Yeah, somebody else can read the translation. Himanshu, bro, would you like to read?
Yep. Ocean of Bharata, you should understand that I am also the knower of, in all bodies. And to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. That is my opinion.
Thank you. Now Krishna is in the way of answering questions. First shloka that he told, 13.2, two aspects he already told. What did he define there already? Kshetra and Kshetragya. Correct. Kshetra and Kshetragya what's told there. Now he's saying Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. That you should understand that I am also. This word also is very, very important to establish a particular point. What is that point? That Krishna is different from us. That means super soul is different from soul. They are not one. This Mayavad philosophy is not correct. This proves it. That super soul and soul are different. So otherwise Krishna would not have told I also. He would have told I and you both are same and we both know. No, he told I also. He is making himself separate from the person, other person. Okay. So Kshetragyam cha api. And also cha api. Mam vidhi. I know. Okay. Vidhi is to know. Okay. I know. Sorry. You know that I am also the knower. Like that he's saying. Okay. He's saying to Arjuna. So you should understand like that. You should know. You should vidhi. That I am also the knower. I am also Kshetragya. Like that he's saying. And he is the knower of what? Sarva Kshetresu. A conditioned soul may be and liberated soul may be the knower of their own body. But I am the knower of what? Sarva Kshetresu. O Bharata. Okay, like that. Or descendant of Bharata. And then he's saying Kshetra Gayoho. See now Kshetra Gayo, those who know little bit Sanskrit, it is dual. It is dual sense. Means two people are there. Kshetra Gayoho. Who are the two people? That is one is the soul, other one is super soul. Okay, so they both are knower. Kshetragyo, that's why it's used, dual case. Sarva Kshetresu is applied only to whom? Is applied only to super soul. That is, Krishna is speaking here. So understand when Krishna is speaking, he is not telling about me. He is not telling about himself. Like Krishna, when he says that, okay, many shlokas are there that I am the Upadrishta, Anumanta, that I am the overseer as a Paramatma. He is saying about is the Chirodaksha Vishnu expansion. He is not saying about he himself as Swayam Bhagavan. He is saying that in my expansion as a Chirodaksha Vishnu, as a super soul, I am the Kshetragya. Like that. Okay. Okay. Sarva Kshetresu Bharata. Kshetragyo Jnanam. Yattat Jnanam Matam Mama. And to understand this body, its knower is called knowledge. Okay. So what is this? The second aspect of this shloka is the Jnanam. This is one of the part of the answer to question of Arjuna. Okay, six things he asked, right? What are the six things? Kshetragya, that is answered in 13.2. Then what else he asked? Prakriti and Purusha, that will be answered later. What else he asked? He asked Geyam and Jnanam. Jnanam is answered here. That knowledge about these two is called Jnana. Okay, that is the answer to the question, one part of the question of the first shloka. Okay, knowledge that is told here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, please read the further
While
one.
discussing the subject of the body, the knower of the body, the soul, and the super soul, we shall find three different topics of study: the Lord, the living entity, and the matter. In every field of activities, in every body, there are two souls: the individual soul and the super soul. Because the super soul is the plenary expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Krishna says, I am also the knower, but I am not the individual knower of the body. I am the super knower. I am present in every body as the Paramatma or super soul.
Yeah, thank you. So here he is saying while discussing the subject of the body and the knower of the body, what is these two things from the shloka? What is he referring to? Subject of the body is which part of the shloka? Please see the shloka and tell which part of the shloka is Prabhupada telling here subject of the body. This is Kshetra. Okay, Kshetra. Kshetra, Kshetragayoho. Okay, Kshetragyaho is here, knower of the body. Who is a knower? Soul and the super soul both. Okay, soul as well as the super soul are Kshetragya. And in Sanskrit, as I told, dual case, it becomes Kshetragyaho. Okay, so both are the Kshetragya, knower of the Kshetra. Conditioned soul knows the limited part of the body, limited knowledge of the body. Super soul has Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata, knower of the all the Kshetras. Okay, we shall find three different topics of study. What are the three? First one is the Lord, that is Bhagavan. Okay. Then there is Jiva. And there is Prakriti. Okay. So these all six items can be actually divided and combined into these three only. Okay. So we will see that in the next session, that how we can actually convert these six into three itself. That those who are Kshetragya and Kshetra will come into Kshetra and Prakriti, both will be coming into Prakriti only, because Kshetra is nothing but a expansion of Prakriti provided by Prakriti. Kshetra and Prakriti both will come under the title of Prakriti itself. Then there is Kshetragya, that will come into Jiva, correct? And there is Kshetragya will also Purusha, the Purusha enjoyer will also come under the title of this uh, Kshetragya. That is, he is also a living entity, like that. We will see that in the next time. So now Prabhupada is saying in the every field of activity, everybody, there are two souls. One is individual soul and the super soul, Atma and Paramatma. Okay. And the super soul is plenary expansion. That's what I told of Krishna, that is Shirodaksha Vishnu. So in that sense, Krishna is saying, identifying with Shirodaksha Vishnu, that I am knower, but I am not individual knower of the body. I am the super knower. I am present in every body as the Paramatma or super soul. Yeah, please continue.
One who studies the subject matter of the field of activity and the knower of the field very minutely in terms of this Bhagavad can attain to knowledge. The Lord says, I am the knower of the field of activities in every individual body. The individual may be the knower of his own body, but he is not in knowledge of the other bodies. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is present as the Super Soul in all bodies, knows everything about all bodies. He knows all the different bodies of all various species of life.
Yeah, so this we have already discussed, that how Krishna as super soul knows all the bodies, and individual soul is knower of his own body, that also not fully. He doesn't know all the pains and pleasures of his body. Okay, and surely not about other bodies. Okay. Yeah, please read.
The body consists of the senses. The Supreme Lord is Rishikesh, which means the controller of the senses. He is the original controller of the senses, just as the king is the original controller of all activities of the state. The citizens are the secondary controllers. The Lord says, I am also the knower. This means that he is the superknower. The individual soul knows only his particular body.
Yeah, so here he is expanding on this word Rishikesha. Rishik Isha, he is the controller of the senses, owner of the senses actually. And as we know, he has given us like a tenant, we are the renters in the body. Okay, so he is the original controller of the senses, and we are secondary controller. And the example Prabhupada gives here, very nice example, as the king and the king of the state. He is the original controller, he is the original owner. And then citizens are the secondary controller of the assets. Okay. Yeah, continue.
In the Vedic literature, it is stated as follows: Kshetrani hi sharirani bijam chapi subha shubhe tani veti cha yogatma tata kshetragya uchyate. This body is called Kshetra, and within it dwells the owner of the body and the Supreme Lord, who knows both the body and the owner of the body. Therefore, he is called the knower of all fields. The distinction between the fields of activities and the knower of activities and the supreme knower of activities is described as follows.
Yeah, so that will be coming now. So basically, Prabhupada is quoting from one of the Vedic literature. So this has been also quoted by Baldev Vidyabhushan actually. So Prabhupada is also quoting Kshetrani Sharirani, like that. So basically he is quoting this, as I told Srila Prabhupada, he quotes Shastras in his purports, in his classes. So they will always support the statements, their statements from Shastra. Okay, this we have seen earlier also. The same point he is saying here, that body is Kshetra and the controller or the owner of this body who is there and the Supreme Lord, both are knower of the body. Okay, yeah, to continue.
Perfect, perfect knowledge of the constitution of the body, the constitution of the individual soul, and the constitution of the super soul is known in terms of Vedic literature as Gyan. That is the opinion of Krishna. To understand both the soul and the super soul as one, yet distinct is knowledge. One who does not understand the field of activity and the knower of activity is not perfect, is not in perfect knowledge. One has to understand the position of Prakriti, nature, Purusha, the enjoyer of nature, Ishvara, the knower who dominates or controls nature, and the individual soul.
Yeah. So now Prabhupada is saying here perfect knowledge, basically jnana, of what? Constitution of the body, constitution of the individual soul, and the constitution of the super soul. Okay, is known as jnana. So what is jnana from the shloka he is saying? Knowledge about these three things. Kshetra and constitution of individual soul and the constitution of the super soul. What is that? These two are kshetragya. Okay, so knowledge about kshetra and kshetragya both is called jnana. That is what defined in this shloka. This is the opinion of Krishna. Where is it mentioned in the shloka? Where is this
Matam
mentioned in
Mama.
the shloka? Matam Mama.
Ah.
Correct. This is my opinion. Krishna is saying Mata Mama. Yes. So to understand both soul and super soul as one, yet distinct is knowledge. One in what? Quality, and distinct in what? Quantity, as Prabhupada explains many times, right? Okay. One who does not understand this is not in perfect knowledge. Basically, Kshetra and Kshetragya, one who does not understand is not in perfect knowledge. So one has to understand the position of first is what? Prakriti, second is Purusha, third is Ishvara. Okay. So these three we will see how all the 6 questions of Arjuna can be combined into these three. Yeah, we'll just complete this purport. Yeah. Read.
One should not confuse the three in different capacities. One should not confuse the painter, painting, and the itself. This material world, which is the field of activities, is nature, and the enjoyer of nature is the living entity. And above them, both is the supreme controller, the personality of Godhead. It is stated in the Vedic language in the Shveteshwar Upanishad 1.12, Bhoktaram Bhogyam, Bhokta Bhogyam Preritaram Chamatva Sarvam Bhoktam Tri Vidam Brahman Etat. There are three Brahman conception. Prakriti is Brahman as a field of activities, and the Jiva, individual soul, is also Brahman and is trying to control material nature. And the controller of both of them is also Brahman, but he is factual controller.
Yeah. So basically, Prabhupada is saying that one should not confuse the three, which are the three Kshetra, Kshetragya, and the Kshetra and Kshetragya, two types of Kshetragya. Okay, one is soul, other is super soul, these three. Okay. So what is the analogy given by Prabhupada? This is important here, the analogy which he is giving. So we'll try to match. So Prabhupada is saying that there is a painter, there is a painting, and there is a easel. What is easel?
Stand.
Stand. Which stand for the painting?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think yes.
Yeah. Okay. So can somebody tell then what is the here matching? See the first line and the second line. What is the matching? Who is the painter? Who is the painting? What is the painting compared to? And what is easel? Easel is the painting stand. So what are the three compared to? Here are the three things. Material nature is the field of activity, is the nature, is first. Enjoyer of this nature, the living entity. This is second. And above them is supreme controller. This is three. So these three we have to match with the analogy given here. So what is the painter? Who is the painter here?
God,
Live,
Krishna.
living entity,
Living entity is the painter.
painter.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Then other two.
Painting is the material world,
Painting is the material world of Prakriti. Okay. Then what is
and
stand?
Easel is the so Lord. On him, everything is standing.
Okay, okay, okay. Somebody want to say some other opinion?
Easel
Okay.
must be the Sarira, which is material nature, I think.
Easel must be material nature. Okay, okay. Then other two?
The Sarira. Yes. Chitra.
No, no. Easel is material nature. What are the other two? Painting and painter.
Uh, Painter, the supreme controller. Krishna is the painter. And
Okay,
painting, we can be the painting. The soul.
okay. Any other opinion?
Prabhuji,
Yeah,
I will
actually,
try.
time is yeah.
Prabhuji,
Actually, time is 10 minutes extra. Yes, you can try. Then after that, we will
painter,
just end. 1 minute. 1 minute.
painter,
Just let me see how much is the purport remaining. Okay, 2 slides are there. What I will do, I'll complete the slides, and then you can answer all of these in next session. Okay, just complete this. Yeah, continue.
In this chapter, it will also be explained that out of the two knowers, one is fallible, another is infallible. One is superior, another is subordinate. One who understands the two knower of the field to be one and the same contradicts the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who states here very clearly, I am also the knower of the field of activity. One who misunderstands the rope to be serpent is not in knowledge. There are different kinds of bodies and there are different owners of the bodies.
Yeah, so same thing. What is the point Prabhupada is trying to make from this? Which part of the shloka Prabhupada is explaining? I already highlighted during the shloka learning. Which part of the shloka actually Prabhupada is highlighting here? Okay, see, he is saying about cha api. I am also. He is separating himself from the soul. So he is saying this misunderstanding is this is sarpa rajju nyaya. This is used by Mayavadis. So he is defeating the Mayavadis analogy or the point that soul and super soul are one. Okay, that is not true. Otherwise Krishna would not have told, I am also. So this point actually is being covered in this part of the purport. Okay, so when you read a purport, please make sure that which part of the shloka is Prabhupada speaking there, and if not, which other part of the Bhagavad Gita actually Prabhupada is bringing in, like we saw. Chaturvida Bhajante Mam, he brought in there. Dehino Asmin Yatha De, he brought it somewhere else from. Correct. And then remaining part of the shloka, it is generally connected to the shloka itself. The purport is connected to the shloka. Okay, yes, continue last slide.
Because each individual soul has its individual capacity for lording it over material nature, there are different bodies. But the Supreme also is present in them as the controller. The word cha is significant, for it indicates the total number of bodies. That is the opinion of Srila Prabhupada. Krishna is the super soul present in each and every body apart from this individual soul. And Krishna explicitly says here that real knowledge is to know that super soul is the controller of both the field of activities and the finite enjoyer.
Okay, so that's what he is again saying, that Baldev Devotion also is stressing the same point. Cha api, that is significant. So as I told, the part of learning in the shloka is that understanding important terms, expanding upon it. So that is vigraha. That is cha is being explained by Srila Prabhupada, even though it's just a single letter. But that is explained that how it is a very important philosophical point. Okay, it indicates that the differentiation between soul and super soul. Okay. So, and then at the end of the purport, so generally any systematic thing, any systematic purport or anybody, any explanation starts with the first point, which will be same. Last point also will be same. What are the first point of the shloka? Same thing. What is the last point? Krishna explicitly is saying what? That real knowledge is to know what is jnana, is the knowledge about the kshetrajna and as well as the kshetra. Okay, the kshetra and kshetrajna. That was the first point of the shloka. That is also the summary of the shloka. That is also the last point of the shloka. That is a very, very essential skill of writing that Prabhupada actually applies everywhere. He will start with the point, explain it, and then end with the summarizing the point. Okay. So we have completed till the 13.3 shloka. Next time we will continue with the 4th shloka, where Krishna will further explain about these 6 items. Okay. So here he is going to explain about the 7 terms. Okay. 13.4 we will see in the next class. Okay. So sorry, we have gone extra time because there were some question and answers in between. So if anybody has any question, they can stay back. Otherwise, devotees can leave. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan ki jai, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Next.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I have a question upon that last. You explained that, like even Prabhupada have said once that unless one become 100% pure, will not go back to Godhead. But then he said that at least 75%. So how to understand that? What level of like individual of like if I have to apply upon myself, that how we can understand that what is the degree or the level of that 75% now got purified?
Yeah, Prabhupada told to
What is
whom
the parameter? Yeah.
he told 75%?
Sorry?
Whom Prabhupada told 75%?
To his disciples. Now, once you were giving the lecture, you
Yeah,
must be
so
knowing
I'm
that.
saying the point. He has not told for, like, suppose he has written some letter to somebody, or he is addressing some people, then we cannot directly take and apply the same exact thing for us. Like suppose somebody Prabhupada told you should eat 4 chapatis. So can we tell, yeah, Prabhupada told him to eat 4 chapatis, I should also eat 4 only. So these things we cannot take, but details. But understanding the very basic philosophical point, what you're saying is how we can take that upon us, like what you're trying to estimate. So for that, the same thing what I understand, there is no clear-cut understanding to know what Prabhupada had in his mind while he spoke that. So, but as per his explanation in the books and the shloka which I showed, that the person has to be 100% pure in the sense that he has to have Krishna Prem to attain to Krishna Lok. Okay, that's what Rishabdev has said in that shloka of the Bhagavatam. Okay, Priti na yavat mai vasudeve
Yeah, but
na muchyate deha yogena
attending,
tavat. Yeah.
yeah, attending Krishna Prema, like if I am a sadhaka, it is not in my hand that you can like jump and have it like fruits we have.
Yeah. Yes, Ruji, correct. So you only tell the answer. We cannot jump and have it. Then how to have it? You know it. How one
I
gets
don't know
Krishna
because
Prema?
sorry,
How one gets Krishna Prema, that you know already, na?
no, I don't know.
Yeah, by
That's why
doing
I'm
our
asking.
sadhana. By doing our sadhana is done for attaining the sadhya. Sadhya is Krishna Prema. Goal is Krishna Prema. So for that attaining of Krishna Prem, we have to do our sadhana. Navavida Bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, whatever.
No, we have to do sadhana. Yeah, that is okay. But like Prabhupada also given the example like how much I am hungry. Like जैसे मैं कितना भूखा हूँ, मेरा पेट कितना भरा है, वो मुझे पता है. So I cannot get certified from another person. I know what is my qualification. So my concern is that
like I know what I am,
Okay.
like what is my sadhana and what is my qualification, and how much I have progressed or not. So, like, what is the hope, like that we will like if I say about myself, like I don't want to come back again, because this is the Kali Yuga and how it's progressing. Like like we can see within 50 to 60 or even 30 years, how much, what progress.
Yeah,
So
understood the
what
question.
if,
Yeah, understood the question, Prabhuji. Yeah. So for that, that's
yeah,
what Prabhupada is trying to say and encouraging us that we can go back to back to Godhead in one life. That's what he's saying. And we have to do. He says that we should do our whatever, following the regulatory principles, chanting 16 rounds, doing our services. These are the basic things what Prabhupada says. So this we do, then we will have Krishna Prema when it is bestowed upon us. Obviously, as you said, we cannot just take it ourselves, but it is given by mercy. So when Krishna and the gurus, they will see that we are doing our best, then they will give the mercy, and then we will get it also. That is what we understand. So it's not directly just by our endeavor; it's also by their mercy. But mercy is given only when we endeavor. It's not just without any sadhana or without any qualification that is there. So we should try our best to
like
do our.
Prabhuji also, many times, Guru says, like anyone's Guru, that you will be going back home, back to not to everyone, but to his special or specific bhakta, that you will be going back home, back to God in this very life. So how we should take that?
No, that we have to take that Guru has told to that person. How, what we
Mm.
have to do with that for ourselves. That has been told to him. What Guru tells to us, that we have to do. He has told for us do the sadhana, we have to do. Correct, na?
Yeah.
So what he has told, that's why I told. What Prabhupada told to those people or somebody told in letter, we cannot apply to ourselves in all details. So for us, what is given in general, that we have to do. Either do our sadhana and then expect the mercy will come. We should do our sadhana very sincerely. Like that is the path.
Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.